Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my video. Oh man. So, I'm in a situation right now. So basically I was driving, got a phone call, pulled over. Man, I was driving home. I pulled over because the conversation was getting long-winded. I had him on speakerphone, and that conversation lasted about 45 minutes. Had the car off. Turned the car off. I don't know why I did that. Turned the car off. And tried to turn the car back on. And nothing. Nothing. I'm about a mile away from home. I mean, I'm glad I'm on the side of the road instead of on the road. But still. My car is not starting, and this situation sucks because I gotta get home. So basically, this is not the first time I've had this situation. I've had this situation maybe like twice in the last 2 months, and every time I try to start it, it eventually started up. But this time, I tried starting like 15 times, and nothing. I just keep on trying to start it 15 times, nothing. I just keep on hearing click. Every time I try to start it up, I just hear a click. So I'm like, okay, probably the battery. So I got out and put my headlights on. My headlights are pretty bright. So I'm thinking to myself, I can't really tell whether it's the headlights that's actually, whether the battery is the situation, why I'm in this situation. I was thinking to myself, maybe the battery is the reason why I'm in this situation. Man, I'm actually I want to get back home, man, because anyway, I couldn't really tell for 100% whether the battery was the issue. So what I did was I went to the back and I got my jumper pack that I bought a couple weeks ago. It's charged up 75%. Good enough. I popped it on. Try to start it. Nothing. Same situation. All the lights work. The radio works. Blower motor works. Everything in the car works, including the alarm, and I can't get the car started. So basically what happens is I can't get the car started. So anyway, I was thinking to myself, why is this car not starting? And I noticed that the terminals were really dirty. So I went to the deli around here. I got a can of Coke. Pretty much poured Coke on the terminal itself. Took some paper towel, wiped it. It looked pretty clean. It sizzled a bit. It looked pretty clean. I thought I pretty much cleaned it up. And went back to my car, tried to start it. Nothing happened. Okay, so I was thinking, jumper pack at 75%, even if it was weak, I should have at least heard like a weak start or something like that. A weak crank. Did not hear a crank, did not hear anything. No weak crank, nothing, just a click. So at that point, I was thinking, okay, fine. It was just a click. I can't really get somebody to jump my car because they'd have to double park. I'm actually on the street. I actually asked a couple of people, but that's not going to work, man. None of them have other jumper packs on them. And they're not going to risk their car just to give me a jump on the street. So that sucks. I mean, I can't say 100% it's not the battery, but still. So I'm thinking about other stuff. Other stuff like what could be causing it? Could it be the alternator? I don't think it's the alternator because when I put the battery pack to it, power pack to it, the car should have just started up And once I took the cables off, the car would have died out. Then, and at that point, I would know that was the alternator. Because normally the alternator dies out when your engine's on. Whether you're driving on the road, idling, whatever. Normally, that's when the alternator goes out on you. But in this situation, my car wasn't on at all, and putting the battery pack on it, it should have just cranked the car up and it would have ran until I took the battery pack off, I think. But okay, figure out that that's probably not the battery, probably not the jumper cables. What else could it be? I was looking at the fuses and the relay. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna Google where the relay is. I Googled where the relay is in the fuse box. I pretty much swapped out, because I couldn't actually do any tests. I swapped out the relay with another relay with the same number, the same serial number or whatever. Swapped it out. Was hoping that would start. It didn't start, and I couldn't. Unfortunately, I can't say 100% that was not the relay, because what if that other relay I had, what if the relay to the star was bad and I took that relay and swapped it out, and instead of star being bad, what if it was the car's computer that bad relay was, I switched out for? If you guys understand that, but I don't think it's the relay. Reason being is that, I was hoping it was a relay because I could just maybe Uber to AutoZone to get the relay and pop it in. But I don't think it's a relay, because I actually do hear click. When I try to start the car, I do hear click. It does click. So normally if it's clicking, it means that either the relay is clicking or the starter solenoid is clicking. And normally with those situations, there's electricity relaying, for lack of a better word, from the battery to the relay to the starter. It's just that the starter motor is just not engaging. All right. So I was thinking to myself, okay, probably not the relay at this point. I was looking at the fuses, a couple of the fuses. I had a flashlight, looked at the fuses just to see if there's any burnt out fuses. Didn't see any burnt out fuses, but at that point I was thinking to myself, I've had situations where my fuse blew and my car wouldn't start. Those two situations were as follows. All right. One of those situations, I had no electricity in the car whatsoever, and found out that it was the relay that connected to it was a main relay. It's the number one main relay on the fuse box that connected from the battery to the fuse box itself. Once I swapped that out, the car started no problem. Unfortunately here, and I'm saying unfortunately because if that was the case, I would just be able to just swap out the relay. Unfortunately here, that's not the case, because I am getting electricity all over. Everything works. Everything works, except the car's not cranking. So that's not the problem. And then the other situation I had with the relay issue was, the car would crank, it wouldn't crank over, it wouldn't start. It would crank, it wouldn't start over. It wouldn't crank. It would crank, it wouldn't start, it wouldn't turn over. That relay, as far as that issue was concerned, it was what was it? It was the fuel pump. I think it was the fuel pump fuse. Sorry, I keep on getting the relays and fuses mixed up. It was a fuse. I'm talking about fuses right now. It's the fuel pump fuse that was blown. Okay, main fuse. Oh man, I had a long day, guys. Main fuse, and I'm actually doing this while I'm waiting for autos for AAA to pick me up, and they're supposed to be here probably within the next 30 minutes, hopefully. But I'm just gonna put this video out anyway. I'm gonna go to the deli and get something to eat. I haven't eaten anything all day, but let me just finish this video up. Basically, the fuse that I had with the issue where the car would crank, but it wouldn't crank over. It was either it was a fuse to the fuse fuel pump. fuse to the fuel pump. Either that or it was the fuse to the car's computer. Alright. However, this is not the case here because this car is not cranking at all. It's not cranking, so I know it couldn't be any of those other fuses. Now, it could be another fuse, but I don't have a fuse tester to test it out, so I can't tell 100%. Right now, I'm thinking it's probably the starter. That's what I thought to begin with. I was hoping not. Reason being is that it would really suck if it was the starter, because I replaced that starter like 6 months ago. I replaced that starter 6 months ago, and I probably put in maybe 8,000 miles on it over the last 6 months, and it would disappoint me greatly to know that the starter is the issue here, because I had the same issue 6-7 months ago, and now I'm sitting here with a starter that's no older than 6 months. But I will say it was a refurbished starter I bought from AutoZone for $150. Probably should have just shelled out the $300 for a brand new one. They're all warranted, lifetime warranted or whatever. But here's the thing about it. I had this conversation, I think, with somebody a while back as far as refurbished stuff is concerned. Refurbished starters, refurbished alternators, whatever it is that's refurbished. What they do with these mechanical parts is they'll just swap out the part. They'll just swap out the part that's broken. They won't replace everything on either the alternator, starter, or whatever. All right. So what you're getting is a starter with, a part that's brand new on it, and everything else has 150,000 miles on it, or whatever it is, whatever mileage you had when you gave it to them. So that really kind of sucks. I'm hoping that's not the issue here. Now, granted, I have had issues in the past where my alternator was a refurbished alternator, and right from the start it was having issues. Didn't figure that out until I did an alternator test as far as trying to figure out what the voltage is on the alternator. Tested that out and figured out that the alternator was the issue. Had to replace that within 3 months of having it put in. But as far as this issue is concerned, I could go out and possibly try to knock on the starter and see if that actually starts up. But it's cold out, and I already caught AAA, so I'm not going to do that. Thinking about that, I'm probably not going to do that right now. But I'm going to keep you guys updated. Thanks for watching this video. I'm going to keep you guys updated on this issue. Alright guys, so it actually took AAA like 2 hours to get to me. And got my car towed to my house. And I actually did the test on the relays. Had to buy a brand new relay from AutoZone, popped it in, and that didn't change anything. Tested out all the fuses. That didn't change anything. Cleaned out all the terminals. Cleaned out my negative line. Popped it back in. Everything's all clean, nice, clean. Put it back in. Nothing. So what I ended up doing was I ended up, taking all the parts out. Got to the starter. Before I unbolted it, I actually hooked up a line from the battery to the terminal of the solenoid. Try to jump it. Try to see if there's anything, if it was moving or not. Nothing happened. So at that point, I knew it was the starter. I took the starter out. Went back to AutoZone. Told them about the situation. I basically had a couple of words for them, telling them, your stuff sucks, but they don't actually build the starters. They actually just sell them. So I went nowhere with that. I was hoping to get a brand new starter out of that situation. A brand new starter, not a refurbished starter, brand new starter. I was hoping to get a brand new starter from that situation, but wasn't able to convince them to do it. So I actually got another refurbished one. If I had a choice, I probably would have gotten like a used one, OEM used from eBay or whatever, but just did not have the time for that. So popped it in, Everything works now. Everything works fine at this point. I'm just hoping that, this doesn't happen again until like 150,000 miles down the line, crossing my fingers on it or whatever, because it took me a couple hours to change it up. It took me a couple hours I wasted a lot of time on this actually. And that was probably, I'm down to two toes from AutoZone at this point. I think I got the golden membership or whatever, but I'm down to 2 toes from AutoZone at 2 toes from AAA at this point. Anyway, I hope this has helped you guys out as far as, if you guys are in the same situation. I really hope this has helped you guys out in some way. If it has, please give me a thumbs up. You guys have a comment, please leave a comment. Please give me a thumbs up, guys. All right? Take care.